It began as a calm morning off the coast of the Arabian Sea. The horizon glowed gold beneath a rising sun, waves whispering softly against the steel hull of a U.S. Navy destroyer. For the sailors aboard, it was just another routine patrol until the calm was shattered. At exactly 0420 hours, the radar screen flared to life. Dozens of blips appeared out of nowhere fast, moving, low-profile vessels heading directly toward a commercial shipping lane. The watch officer froze for half a second before shouting, "Multiple contacts closing fast." Within minutes, the ship's quiet hum turned into a storm of action. What was about to unfold would become the largest pirate assault the U.S. Navy had faced in decades. The USS Mason, a guided missile destroyer operating under Operation Sentinel, had one mission: to keep the sea lanes open and secure for global trade. Every day, billions of dollars worth of cargo passed through these waters that had become a hunting ground for heavily armed pirate syndicates based deep along the Somali coast. But this time, it wasn't a random ambush. Intelligence soon revealed this attack was organized, coordinated by a powerful warlord who had united multiple pirate groups under one command. They had one goal: capture an entire convoy of merchant ships and use their crews as hostages. Captain Reynolds, a veteran officer with over 20 years of service, immediately sounded the alarm. His calm but firm voice echoed through the corridors, battle stations. "This is not a drill." Within seconds, sailors sprinted across the deck. The Phalanx Sieus guns powered up with their mechanical whine. Missiles were armed and defensive countermeasures were readied. From the nearby amphibious assault ship USS Baton, helicopters roared into the sky, blades slicing through the morning haze. The crew knew this was going to be a fight unlike anything they had faced before. By 0445 hours, the pirate boats had closed within visual range. Through binoculars, crew members could see the black flags, the makeshift armor plating, and heavy machine guns mounted on the small craft. There were dozens of them moving in tight formation like a swarm of hornets. Over the radio, frightened voices from nearby cargo ships cried for help. "We are under attack." Repeat, "under attack." The Navy destroyer adjusted course to intercept. It was now the only thing standing between the pirates and hundreds of unarmed civilians. At 0452 hours, the first shots were fired. Tracer rounds tore through the dawn light, hitting the water just meters from the destroyer's hull. The USS Mason retaliated instantly with warning bursts, then with full firepower. The sound of the ship's 25 chain guns thundered across the sea. The pirates pressed on, undeterred, zigzagging between waves and firing RPG toward the warship. Each explosion sent sprays of water into the air, but none breached the destroyer's defenses. The crew worked like a machine, calm, trained, precise. They had drilled for years for this moment. For 40 long minutes, the ocean became a battlefield. Smoke filled the air as helicopters circled overhead, unleashing flares and marking enemy targets with laser guidance. The pirates began to use nearby civilian ships as cover, forcing the Navy to make split-second decisions. One wrong move, and innocent lives could be lost. Yet under Captain Reynolds' command, the Mason's gunners held their fire until the perfect moment. Every round they fired was deliberate, every shot measured. Then came a critical discovery. 10 miles to the east, a large fishing trawler was detected too large, too slow, and strangely stationary. The radar team realized it wasn't a fishing vessel at all. It was the pirates' command ship, a floating base coordinating the entire attack through encrypted radios. The order came swiftly: target the mother ship. The USS Mason locked onto the target with its SM-2 missile system. With a deep roar, the missile ignited and shot into the sky, leaving behind a trail of smoke and flame. It sliced through the clouds, descending on its target with deadly precision. Seconds later, a massive explosion ripped through the sea. The shockwave was so powerful it could be felt miles away. The pirate command vessel erupted into flames, lighting up the night like a second sunrise. Within moments, chaos spread among the pirate fleet. Their communication network collapsed. Boats began scattering in every direction. colliding and overturning in their desperate escape, the Navy pressed its advantage. Helicopters swooped low over the waves, ordering surrender through loudspeakers. Dozens of pirates threw their weapons into the sea and raised their hands. Others tried to flee, but were quickly intercepted and captured. The battle that had begun in chaos ended in complete control. Within 2 hours, the sea had fallen silent again, the sound of waves returning, as if nothing had happened. When the smoke cleared, the U.S. Navy had neutralized over 30 hostile vessels, dozens of pirates were captured, and several key figures from the Somali network were later identified among them. Miraculously, no merchant ships were lost, and every civilian crew was rescued safely. Analysts later estimated that the operation prevented the loss of over $2 billion in cargo and a potential hostage crisis that could have lasted for months. As the sun began to rise over the horizon, exhausted sailors stood on deck, watching the golden light reflect off the calm water. For many of them, it was a moment of quiet reflection. They had faced overwhelming odds and won. For the crew of the USS Mason, that night wasn't just another mission. It was proof of their unity, training, and courage under fire. They had stared down chaos and brought order back to the sea. Much of the footage from that night remains classified, locked away in military archives. But fragments have surfaced over the years, grainy images of tracer fire, explosions lighting up the ocean, and distant voices shouting commands. They serve as a haunting reminder of the unseen battles that protect the world's trade routes every single day. And somewhere out on those same waters, new threats continue to rise. But the message left by the USS Mason remains clear and unshakable wherever lawlessness dares to challenge the seas. The United States Navy will be there, always prepared, always watching, and always victorious.